hatched chicks and ducklings before with a broody duck, but this is our very first adventure having a broody hen hatch chicks for us. And there's a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of things that are different as well. I find it so interesting how differently nature raises babies and how we as human beings try to raise animal babies. I think I have an animal baby screaming in the background. So I kind of wanted to go over that with you today. You might not see my face, but you will see these cute little chicks. So I had originally had a video prepared for you guys on my old phone, but I was transferring some stuff over, and a lot of the video that was of the incubator process got ruined. Now I do have the incubator process on here on YouTube, but just with different sets of chicks. But this time it was interesting for us because we had chicks under Mama Hen and chicks in the incubator. And so I really have enjoyed watching the differences in the two chicks, how I raised them, and then how this Mama Hen raises them. So my first, I guess, realization, and I realized this several years ago when we first started hatching with the duck. Of course, you hear my phone in the background. Babies are, when hatched with the broody, they their heat source is a lot different with a broody duck or hen, or even a guinea or quail, than it is when we're heating them. When we had duck babies last year, the duck babies actually were soaking wet many times. And the only time that they went under mom was late evening and when they needed to dry off. Of course, ducks are creatures of wetness, so that made sense. But now with chick babies and a mom, I'm finding that it's not quite different. Our chick babies have been wet. They've been in cold air. They've been in hot air. They've been through a storm. Of course, they haven't been through snow or anything yet. But, and the only time they have ever gone under mom to get heat is when it's been really chilly out, even for a human being, chilly out. Or they had gotten wet in the storm, and they did. They got wet in the rainstorm. Or when they've been hiding from a hawk flyover, or from one of the chickens when we were integrating them. And that always amazes me. It really amazed me with our ducks last year too, because I was watching them in the middle of a storm floating down our hill, and it was cold out too. They would float down the water, they'd run all the way back up and then float down the water again, as if it were some, you know, really fun water slide for them. But it amazes me how nature does what it's supposed to do. Now with my incubator babies, you've seen my setup over there. You've seen that I have either a 60-watt bulb, which yes, does put out a good amount of heat on the really hot days, and then I'll switch back to a heat lamp if it's gotten colder. Like last night it's gotten colder, so I did put the heat lamp back in. Now when I came back out here early this morning, it was still kind of cool outside. They were nowhere near that heat lamp. They were still panting and still hot because our little dog house, oh, there's Mr. Rooster mounting back there. It holds heat very well. But the reality is that these babies in front of me, she just kicked him out of the way. they're going to be more heat resilient and weather resilient than my incubator babies will. And therefore, of course, I would much rather prefer to hatch with a broody hen or a broody duck or quail or guinea. Now, some other differences or some things that I've noticed are that these chicks, they go through a lot more than I would put my incubator chicks through. They are quick, they are resilient, they are tough little things. I mean, they are just tough. They have jumped down from heights that are unimaginable that I thought would surely, break legs and stuff. Hello. But they have bounced back every single time. And guys, if we're going to talk about nature and we're going to say that we're all natural homesteaders, then we must allow nature to raise its own young and do it the way that nature sees fit. Now, I don't suggest you putting your animals in harm's way on purpose, but I do suggest you being observant of what's going on and how nature does it. Now, what she's doing right now, she's breaking the larger pieces of feed up for them. These chicks, they get the scraps, the little pieces that come out of the bag, but she also breaks up larger pieces of food like a bird would for them. Nature is incredible, guys. It's really incredible. Okay. So the other part of this is integration. Now, within the first 2 days, she began integrating these chicks into the flock. Can you believe these chicks are not even a week old, and these chickens have already accepted them into the flock? They are part of the flock. Incredible, isn't it? They don't get pecked at. They got pecked at, a couple times the first 24 hours, but they are now officially integrated, and they will stay this way. Now, see, it's going to be different for my incubator babies. For my incubator babies, I'm actually going to have to, oh, don't do that, it's nasty. I'm going to have to actually integrate them manually. They're going to have to go into a run. They're going to have to be with the flock, but not actually touching them in a separate run, so that they can be integrated for at least a week before, once they're big enough. And then after that, I can set them loose. That little one's wandering away over there. That's our old duck pool. And I set my feed scoop there for a second. Kind of blends in. Of course, they get clean water over here in a bowl, but they decide to drink the nasty water out of the pool. And so that's another thing, the integration was another neat thing that I have been observant about. Another thing that we've really found interesting is the protection of Mama Hen. If you have a good Mama Hen, she's going to protect her babies no matter what. She would lay down her life for those babies, and we have watched that happen with her. Oh no! But we have also noted that these babies are smart. And I can't say that my incubator babies are this smart. These babies, they know how to forage. They know how to run and hide when there's a hawk flying over. My other babies would have no idea how to do that. It's all because Mama Hen taught them. I do believe that little black one, I think it's a rooster. So this has been a really fun experience for us this time. I'm really enjoying doing the broodies and the incubator babies all at one time. Just to see the difference, how quickly they're growing, how much they're learning in a short amount of time. how much better they do in nature. And honest to goodness, my favorite part, look at that little guy. My favorite part is learning how nature takes care of everything. Because I want to take care of nature the way God intended it to happen. And so, in reality, this mama hen is teaching me how to take care of her babies properly and how to take care of future chicks on our homestead. And that, my friends, is even better than reading a blog post or watching somebody else's opinionated video. This mama is teaching not only her babies, but us. For more information about broody hens, please check out our website. I have a post that's going to come up soon. And I'm also going to try to post it on Mother Earth News too, so you can read it over there. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this little video. It's a little bit more laid back than normal. I just wanted to give you some pros and cons of what I'm learning here on my homestead and what Mama Hen is teaching me. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great week.